every point is very, very important for us to understand now before we go into the practical level. Okay. The first one is, now we know that, okay, the fixed asset accounting or the asset accounting now, okay, is going to be completely based on the universal journal entry table. Whatever the postings you are making, okay, now in asset accounting, every postings will go and will be get updated in the table called as ACDOCA table from today onwards, because asset accounting is going to be completely based on universal journal entry table. Let me go, first of all, okay, let me go and see. Yesterday we have posted one document, okay. Yeah, excuse me. Okay, so yesterday we have posted one document, so let me go and see that particular document. Okay, so okay, how the document is going to be get posted over there. So just I'll go and just maintain the okay, company code and everything. Okay, so let me see. Yesterday the same thing we have posted.
I think you did it in 2018, yeah.
You didn't, yeah, I think, yeah. Yes, thank you. So there are several documents are there. Okay, so let me filter with the document number. Yesterday we have posted the document, latest document. Okay, 1 second. 1 second, slash in. Yes, okay, so this is the document number. So just I'm copying the document number. I'm going to the table called as AC Docker. Now I'll give the document number, company code, and the ledger, everything. So I'm giving the document number here. So the document number which I got posted on 01/12/2018. Okay, so this is the document number. So just I'm just displaying the document number. See, here is the document number. Now you can see here the document number has got activated in the AC Docker table. There are two line items are there. One is the debit line item. Another one is going to be called as a credit line item here. Okay, one is the one debit line item. Second one is the credit line item. If I just go and display the line item level, the reporting. So this is the particular document you are going to be see here. Okay, so this is the document number. And these are all the details are getting updated in the table called as AC Docker table. Okay, you can see here. So what is the account number and what is the business area? What is the controlling area? All the details. Okay, so we have posted the document with 1,000 USD dollars. Okay, you can see the currency conversion rate and all the details of the document. You can see the asset number, everything, the document number, fiscal year. Okay, so here, if we come here, this is the chart of accounts. And this is the text we have provided. And if you come down, little bit down, you can see the complete transactions about this is the asset number and this is the sub asset number. Okay, this is the asset value date we have posted. And this is the transaction type. Okay, what is the transaction category? All the details, not only one. So now in SAP S4 HANA, now you are going to be seeing that the fixed asset postings are getting updated to the universal journal entry table. This means that now there is no need to have any kind of reconciliation between the general ledger and the asset accounting. Very, very important point. Earlier we have the reconciliation. Why? Because a general ledger is a separate component and the asset accounting is a separate component. Before we go for the month-end closing activity, we need to execute some reconciliation reports to see whether the proper reconciliation has been done between the asset accounting and the general ledger accounting. That is going to be the huge job for the end users. Why? Because asset accounting is such a area where the end users cannot post the depreciation until or unless if the reconciliation issues are resolved. Earlier, I'm talking about the in ECC. Now, by the technical architect, by the change in the architect level, now the reconciliation has been completely eliminated. So if you see the point number 2 here, so we can see here the reconciliation between the general ledger accounting and the asset accounting is ensured by the design. Now no need to the reconciliation step in the financial close need to do any kind of anymore. Now there is no need to reconcile. Why? Because now all the general ledger postings and the asset accounting postings are getting updated to the same table, which is called as the AC DOCA table. Earlier we have different tables, like as the GL tables are different and the asset accounting tables are different, as we have seen yesterday, the technical tables of asset accounting. So if I'm not wrong, okay, we have gone through this particular simplification list. In the simplification list we have seen, okay, ANEP, ANEK, ANLC, these all are going to be the tables which are getting updated earlier. Now these tables are no more. So only one table is getting updated, which is going to be called as AC DOCA table. So now no need to have any kind of reconciliation process any required. Why? Because it has been ensured by the design. One thing, the major important. So here, now I'm going to discuss about the earlier what the reports are. We are going to be looking at the month-end closing activity for the reconciliation between the general ledger and the asset accounting. Now those reports are not available in our SAP S4HANA. So if I come down in the same simplification list, if you just come down, so here, the point number, okay, in the same asset accounting, this is very, very important. It is no longer necessary to reconcile the general ledger with the subledger of asset accounting as a form of, okay, as from now on, asset accounting is permanently reconciled with the general ledger accounting automatically. So now, this is very, very important for us. Why? Because now the end users are going to be very, very happy. Why? Because earlier the time which has taken for the reconciliation, mean to say that before month-end closing activity, before 3 to 4 days before only. So they used to do all these reconciliations before we close the month-end closing activity. Now, no need to wait for the month-end closing activity. Now your completely reconciliation has been done automatically. Now there is no need to look out for any kind of reports in SAP S4HANA from today onwards. So these are the reports actually. These are the reports earlier we are comparing. The programs for the reconciliation that exist till now. Okay, that is RAABST01, RABST02, and FAA underscore G, because are therefore no longer available in SAP S4HANA. So from today onwards, because of permanent reconciliation between the general ledger and the asset accounting, these reports are no need to be get executed anymore. Even if I'm trying to execute also, these reports will not be available. If you see here, just I'll go into the SAP. If I try to do this, see here, if I try to do this /n, okay, SC38, okay, I'll go to SC38 because this is the program. These are the very, very important points whenever you're facing any interview. Okay, whenever you're facing any certification, or whenever you're facing any one of your friend who is asking about the technical changes, these are very, 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 very important to test your knowledge yourself, whether you're comfortable in asset accounting or not. If you're not comfortable, what enhancements I had to do, what things I had to learn, because my friend is asking this question. I don't know this question actually. So this question is very, very important for us. So you have to analyze. Now you have to do your analytical part when you complete the syllabus, because these are the very, very important points, not only from your side, when you're facing a technical interview with any of your company. Okay, so they may ask this kind of questions. So you have to be ready to face this kind of questions actually. So now they'll ask about the reconciliations. So you need to explain that, okay, the reconciliations in asset accounting is permanently reconciled with the general ledger accounting in our SAP S4HANA. Earlier, whatever the programs we are going to be executing, like, okay, ABST01, ABST02, depreciation posting, all these reconciliations are eliminated. Now it has been ensured automatically without any financial closing activity during the month end closing. So you have to give an answer in such a way that you are already been exposed pushed to the real time, so that you are facing, okay, this is not the first time you're giving an interview. So already you have been, you already been working in SAP S4HANA environment. So your flow has to be in such a way that you're confident in giving the answers. Your flow has to be in such a way. Your flow should not be like that, that yesterday you learned SAP S4HANA, today you're giving the answers to them. No, not like that. So make sure that, okay, you're giving a correct answer in a proper way. Okay, now see here, this is the report. Now, if I'm trying to execute this report, see here, program RAABST01 does not exist. Means now this program is no more available in SAP S4HANA. This is the program. Now let me try with the transaction code. This is the transaction, ABST01 is the transaction code. ABST01 is the transaction code. If I'm trying to execute the transaction code also, see here, ABST01. No. Okay, see here. Okay, the transaction ABST01 does not exist. What is the name? What is another transaction which is given by the SAP ABST02? ABST02 is also another transaction. RAABST02 is the program. RAABST02 is the program. ABST02 is the transaction code. So if I go into the transaction code, this is the new asset accounting transaction code. If I'm trying to execute, see here, transaction does not exist, means now there is no need to do any kind of month-end closing activity for the reconciliation purpose. This is the very, very important, and it is giving something like breathing environment for us, where now no need to have any kind of reconciliation reports. Okay, this is the first part. Okay, no need to. What is the reconciliation? Now I'm going to explain you. Okay, see, for example. Okay, now, yesterday we have seen one example here. Yesterday we have seen one example. I'm acquiring an asset. Okay, 31. Okay, your machine is going to be debit. Your asset. A machine is nothing but your asset. Your machine account, asset account. Okay, the machine is going to be the debit, and your vendor account. Okay, I'm taking. Oh, sorry. Your vendor account is going to be the. Okay, I'll take it as a 70. Your vendor account is going to be the credit. This is the vendor account. Now, this accounting entry I'm posting in. This accounting entry I'm posting in SAP S4HANA. Now, okay, now this is the one. Okay, this is the 10,000 or something like, okay, USD dollars I'm getting posted. Now, if I go and see the reconciliation, this is in fixed asset. This is in fixed asset. Okay. Now, in the general ledger accounting also, in the GL accounting, earlier we don't have the earlier we have the reconciliation process. So asset accounting is a sub-asset, and we are going to be calling it as the GL accounting is the main accounting part actually. Okay, now the machine account is the asset account. It is completely called as the asset. Now there is a reconciliation account will be there in the machine account. So if I go and see the balances in the general ledger account for the reconciliation account, the same machine account, the recon account also show with the same balance. That is the 10,000. Same 10,000 it has to be shown in the general ledger accounting. If I go and compare with the machine account, it has to be 10,000, and the same reconciliation account, if I go and do in my general ledger accounting, it has to show with the 1 lakh. So I'm going to show the balance now. Yesterday we have posted one document. Okay, see here. See here. Now you can see here. This is what exactly we are going to be seeing here. Okay, now you're going to see this is the okay. Now this is the account. This is the GL account. You can see here. This is the GL account. Okay, and this is the asset account. Now it is both are going to be ensured by the design now. Okay, now see here 4102 and 3102. Now you can see here. Now what is the balance? If I go and see the asset balance, it has to show the 10,000. And if I go and see the balance in the general ledger accounting also, it has to show with the 10,000. Now this reconciliation is automatically designed here in SAP S4HANA. But earlier it is not designed. We have to compare both the balances. Why? Because there will be some manual postings that are going to be happen. Now there are no manual postings SAP S4HANA. All the manual postings in asset accounting has been completely removed now. Earlier we have some manual postings. Actually, without the reconciliation, the SAP will allow you to do some manual postings without the reconciliation in asset accounting. Because of that manual posting, there is some discrepancies there between the general ledger accounting and the asset accounting between the balances. In the general ledger accounting, the balance is showing something different, and in the asset accounting, the balance is going something different because of some manual posting. Now, all the manual posting transactions are completely removed in our SAP S4HANA. If we come down, okay, these are some of the transactions which are no more available in SAP. So you can't post any kind of manual entry postings in SAP S4HANA. Okay, so why? Because these transactions are completely eliminated. If you come down here, these are the transactions. Please, everybody, you have to be in. This is very, very important. Why? Because some people have not been worked in ECC. Now you're directly working on SAP S4HANA. So you might know, you should know all these things actually. So if I come down, these are the manual. Okay, these are the transactions. Now, these are the transactions. Okay, so some of the classic asset accounting transactions have been replaced by the corresponding new ones so that you can make the accounting principle specific posting. The input field, depreciation area, and the accounting principle can be found on the screen of the new transaction. See, earlier we have only the transactions called as AB01. Yes, AB01 is the transaction which I am using in my SAP S4HANA. Okay, now what happened? Now you are going to be having a new transaction in place of AB01L. So what is this L? L is nothing but a ledger. Now you can enter the ledger. So not only for AB01. So earlier we have ABAA. Now we are putting as ABAA01. If you want to go for unplanned depreciation, okay, we are using the transaction code called as ABAA. Now you have the prefix with L. L is nothing but a ledger. So what happened if I give the L? So if I go to the AB01L, now for example, now I'll go to the AB01L. So now the system is going to give an option called as, now the system, this is the AB01L. Now here, the system is going to give, asking about the asset number. The system is asking the asset number. Now here, the new transaction has been come out. Earlier we don't have this particular accounting principle. Earlier we don't have the field called as accounting principle in the AB01. Now the new transaction code AB01L. AB01L is completely replaced with the new transaction code. Now we have the new field called as now accounting principle. Now you can post the transaction to different accounting principles like IFRS, like local GAAP, like a local GAAP, like US GAAP. So whichever the accounting principle you want to post an asset, now you have the accounting principle. So now the transactions have been renovated with the new transaction code where the prefix is going to be with L. So these all are going to be there, but you need to keep the prefix with L over here. So these are some of the transactions. Now, these are the transactions which are no more available in our SAP S4HANA. As I told you that these transactions are completely out of control. Now we don't have these transactions. As I told you that, hey Mahesh, earlier we can post some manual entries also without any reconciliations. So SAP will allow you to do some manual postings. Okay, so this is the transaction code I'm using earlier AFB1. AFB1 is the transaction which I am using in my SAP. This particular transaction is used to post an asset without any reconciliation with the general ledger accounting. So what happens here? So when you are doing this transaction, you will see a separate balance, means a balance amount will be something differ from your general ledger accounting. So there is no proper reconciliation has been done between the general ledger accounting and the asset accounting. Why? Because you are doing some manual postings. Now in SAP S4HANA, we don't have these manual postings anymore. These all the transactions which I'm showing on my desktop, these all the transactions have been completely eliminated. So ABST is nothing but the reconciliation. ABST is the reconciliation. ABST is also reconciliation. ABAB is the unplanned depreciation. AW01 AFR is for the period and closing. AJRW is the fiscal year change. Now these all the transactions have been completely eliminated in our asset accounting. No more these transactions are going to be available. Because of removing all these transactions, now the SAP is very proud to tell that now no reconciliation between the general ledger accounting and the asset accounting is ensured by the design. Mean to say that no reconciliation step in financial close need anymore. All non-statistical items are getting updated as a universal general entry table. What are the non-statistical? Actuals. Actuals are going to be stored in the universal, and the statistical data, there is a separate table has been given to you, and for the planned data there is a separate table has been given to you now from today onwards. Only the actuals are getting stored in the universal general entry table. So this is very, 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 very important point we have to be get understand. Second one, even after migration, yes, if any migration has been done, if you have done any kind of migration after the ECC to SAP S4, even after reporting for the previous fiscal year possible due to the compatibility view. Yes, as I discussed also. Now all the tables, whichever the tables you have been eliminated, now all the tables have been moved as a compatibility view. So whatever the logic you have written earlier for the development of the program with the old tables, now you can have the same report can be executed in our SAP S4 HANA with the compatibility view tables. So it doesn't mean that old tables will not work so that the old reports will not work. No, you can execute the old tables also with the new reports with the same compatibility view. Okay, so this already. Now, transparent assignment of depreciation area to the accounting principle. This is very, 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 very important. Transparent assignment of depreciation area to the accounting principle. Now, if I'm not wrong, yesterday we have seen one example related to the posting. See, yesterday we have seen this example. Now,
here's one question.
Yes, sir.
The new transaction will be in any way posted to the compatibility tables?
The new transaction will be posted to the compatibility view tables. Exactly, sir.
It will be. So
it will be. But you cannot, but you can only read the data from the compatibility, but you cannot modify, you cannot delete the data.
So there will be simultaneous two entries, one in the compatibility table and
table is getting updated. Compatibility table is getting updated with the data, not the documents.
Okay.
Table will be get updated with the document number in the AC document only. As I told you that BSEC table is still it is available, sir. For example, I'm telling. So BSEC table it is still is available. Okay, so that whenever there are any postings are going to be happen, you can also go and see the data in the BSEC table. Why? Because BSEC table is not a compatibility view table, sir, actually. Whereas the remaining all the tables are compatibility view tables. So the postings will not be, means the document will not be get updated in the compatibility. Where the data we can retrieve from the compatibility view table, but the documents number will not be get updated.
Okay.
Now here you can see, sir, everybody, this is very, very important. Now, whenever I'm posting an accounting entry, whenever, yesterday also we have seen a live example also. If you don't, okay, if I'm not wrong, yesterday we have seen a live example. We have posted one document yesterday. Okay, this is the document we have posted yesterday. Now here you can see here, this is the document. If I go into the asset accounting, this is the new icon which has been displayed here for the from the SAP S4 HANA onwards. In ECC, we don't find this. Why? Because now here in the asset accounting, you can see here. Now here, if you see very carefully, this is very, very important for us. Okay, now here you can see. Okay, now this is the ledger. LG is nothing but, very, very important. LG is nothing but local gap, which is one of the reporting system. LG is nothing but the local gap. And the second one is going to be called as the US gap. Second one is going to be called as the US gap. Now, how this LG and the US gap reportings are going to be displayed here. If I go and click on this, this is going to be the US gap reporting level. Okay, you can see here the accounting principle is nothing but the US gap. And if I want to switch on to another, okay, I'm going to be switch on into the LG, which is going to be called as the local gap. This is completely we are going to be, because this is the main local gap which is going to be called as LG. Now, if you come down, if I see here, these are the things actually, accounting principles. IFRS and the local accounting principles are getting updated for the ledger groups. Now, okay. Now, on what base the configuration, I'm able to see this accounting principles in my documents. This is what exactly we are going to be calling it as a transparent account assignment of accounting principle to the depreciation area. So there is a configuration is there here. Okay, because of this configuration, because of that particular configuration, I am able to post this document like this, and I can see to which ledger group the document has got updated, to which accounting principle the document has got updated. Now, how this accounting principle is getting derived from this particular ledger? Why? Because already we have assigned the accounting principle to the ledger group. Now I'll go and let me see the practicals now. Okay, now see here. First point number 1. Now point number 1. Okay, now I'm going to the ledgers. First, I'm taking the ledger OL. If I double click on the company codes, see here, these are the OL which has been assigned to all the company codes. Okay, in this company code, you can see here, OL is getting in this company code. Yesterday, we have posted the document to this particular Tata Motors. Okay, 5500 is the company code. Okay, right, very good. Okay, that is going to be called as the OL. Now I'll go back one step back. Now these are the sum of the ledgers we are able to see here. Now, in the second one, if I double click on it once again, if I select OL, if I double click on the company code, now if I select the company code 5500, yesterday I had a discussion with the management, and the escalation has been done in a very serious way, that this is what exactly happening in the class. Not only in the class, our students also facing the same issue with the server. That is the transactions are not getting activated within the time, so it is taking a long time. So this has been taken to high level. Yesterday I had a call with 20 minutes, and I also shown the demo to them what problem we are facing. Now it has been taken care. By today, end of the day, or by tomorrow, our servers are going to be refreshed, and we can't see. I mean to say that now the issue is going to be resolved by tomorrow morning anyhow. So this has been taken care, sir. Now, if I select this company code, now if I go into the accounting principle, why? Because every ledger should be assigned to one accounting principle. So if I go into the accounting principle, you can see here, this is the LG. Very, very important. See the logic here. I'm explaining the logic now in asset accounting. So if I go to the OL, what is the accounting principle which has been assigned to? Okay, LG. Now I'll go to the document. This is the document. This is the document. You can see here for LG, okay, that is OL. Okay, you can see here the OL is the ledger group. If I go and see what is the account group, what is the ledger group which has been assigned, which is going to be called as LG. Now, if I go to the US GAAP, now next one, US GAAP is nothing but which has been assigned to the ledger, which is going to be called as the N1. You can see here, this is the N1. Now I'll go back. I'll select the N1. Now I'll double click on the company code. I'm selecting the company code 5500, and I'll double click on the accounting principle. You can see here, I'm double clicking on the accounting principle. I'm just displaying the N1 here. See the assignment. See here, US GAAP. See here, US GAAP. The same thing I can see here. See here, US GAAP. Okay, US GAAP has been assigned to the N1. You can see here, US GAAP has been assigned to the N1. So here, this configuration, which is very, very important for us. So what is the ledger and what accounting principle you have been assigned to the ledger? This is the first thing. And the second thing, okay, for the 5500, only two ledgers are there. One is the 0L, another one is the N1. Okay, now I'll go back. Come to the ledger group. Very, 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 very important. Ledger group concept is very, very important. I want two ledger groups. One is the OL, another one is the N1. Okay, one is the OL, another one is the N1. See, there are two ledger groups are there. Why? Because these ledger groups are assigned to the accounting principle now. Okay. Now the second one, yes, I have the two ledger groups. Come to the parallel accounting. Come to the parallel accounting. So how I have assigned this accounting principle to ledger, because earlier you have defined the accounting principle. There are two accounting principles you have defined. One is going to be called as the US GAAP. Another one is going to be called as a local GAAP. Okay, so whatever may be. Okay, so okay, that is IFRS. So you can see here. Okay, so these two accounting principles are available with me right now. Now I'll go back and assign these two accounting principle to the ledger group. This is the second point. Assign the accounting principle. If you're not assigned the accounting principle to the ledger group, no more. Okay, your asset accounting configuration will become failed. Why? Because the completely asset accounting is completely based on the ledger group and the accounting principle only. So now I need to assign. Okay, here you can see here. Here you can see here, assignment is going to be done with the ledger group with N1. So here you can see here, US GAAP automatically. Okay, you can see here, US GAAP is getting assigned to the N1. So this is what exactly we have seen. So N1 is nothing but my ledger group. Here you can see the field N ledger group. N1 is getting assigned to your which ledger group, which accounting principle? US GAAP. So from where the configuration has been triggered, the configuration is getting triggered from this assignment. So ledger group always should be assigned to the accounting principle. If I go to the new entry, if we give that particular accounting principle, okay, see, if we give that accounting principle, automatically which accounting principle is getting assigned to which ledger. So this is very, very important. So these are the three major important. Okay, first thing, you need to define the ledger, create the ledger group, assign that ledger group to the accounting principle. So once you've done this basic configuration, once you complete this basic configuration, then in my SAP S4 HANA, if I come to the asset accounting, the number of ledger groups should be equal to your depreciation areas. I'll tell the concept now. I'll come to the depreciation. Okay. So these are going to be called as the depreciation areas. These are going to be called as your depreciation areas. From where you have created these depreciation areas, I have not created the depreciation areas, I have been copied. So I'll explain the step number 1 now. If I come to the SAP RO IMG financial accounting, after financial accounting, come to the asset accounting. First step number 1 in asset accounting. Asset accounting. After you come to the asset accounting, come to the organizational structure. In the organizational structure, copy reference chart of depreciation and depreciation area in SAP S4 HANA or in SAP ECC, wherever you go. Okay. So we never create any depreciation areas. We need to copy the depreciation areas from the existing depreciation area. This is the universal principle. Actually, we are following from the SAP onwards. It is not a new concept in SAP S4 HANA. We don't have option to create the depreciation areas. We need to copy the depreciation areas from the existing depreciation chart of depreciation. See here like this. So what is the chart of account? What is the chart of account? Chart of account is the list of the GL accounts. So chart of account is nothing but the list of the GL. This is the chart of accounts. Okay, so chart of account, not the chart of depreciation. COA. COA is nothing but chart of accounts. Okay, what is my chart of account? My chart of account is nothing but YCOA. YCOA is nothing but my chart of accounts. If I go and see the YCOA, how many GL accounts will be there? So I have nearly created about 500 GL accounts are there. So chart of account area is the list of the GL accounts. We know that this is the chart of account area which contains the list of the GL accounts. So how many GL accounts I have created? 500 GL accounts you have created under the chart of account. In the same way, we have so many depreciation areas. So all those depreciation areas are going to be maintained in chart of depreciation, just like a chart of account. So this is going to be called as chart of depreciation. COD. Chart of depreciation. So in SAP S4 HANA or in SAP ECC, we have predefined chart of depreciations. So under this chart of depreciation, we have several depreciation areas like book depreciation, marginal depreciation, special tax depreciation, group depreciation. These all are depreciation areas we have, nearly about 15 to 20 depreciation areas we have. So 15 to 20 depreciation areas, these are going to be called as depreciation areas we have. So in our SAP S4 HANA and SAP ECC, we need to copy all these depreciation areas from the existing chart of depreciation. Why? Because we can't create the new depreciation chart of depreciation in our SAP ECC or SAP S4 HANA. Whereas in your, when you come to the chart of accounts, you can create a new chart of account area and you can create the GL account, but not the depreciation area. We never create any new depreciation area. We need to copy the existing one and we had to change the depreciation area so that all the depreciation areas are getting copied. So if I go into the ECC, so we don't have option to create. See here, there is a copy reference chart of, but there is no option to create the depreciation. So what I will do, I need to go to the copy reference chart of depreciation. In this, select the first one, that is copy reference chart of depreciation. Why? Because we cannot create the new depreciation. We need to copy the existing one. Okay, this screen will appear like this. Okay, a blank screen will be appearing like this. Now from here, click on copy button. There is an option called as the copy button. Copy. Okay. So from which depreciation chart of depreciation to which chart of depreciation you want to copy? There are two fields have been appeared, from chart of depreciation and the to chart of depreciation. So which depreciation area you want to take here? So these are the available depreciation areas. So normally we'll take the 1710. Very, very important in the real time also. In the real time also, whenever you go for, you're working in the real time, make sure that you are taking the 1710 because this is SAP best practice. This is the SAP best practice chart of depreciation. Earlier in our SAP ECC, we need to copy the ODE, that is 0DE. Earlier in our SAP ECC, I'm talking. Okay, we will copy the ODE, the German chart of depreciation. This is called as the German chart of depreciation. Earlier in our SAP ECC, I'm talking not in SAP S4 HANA, but now in SAP S4 HANA, we don't have the ODE. Now in SAP S4 HANA, we don't have this ODE. Very, very important. Okay, the interview may confuse you, but you have to be very clever enough to answer this question. The interview may confuse you. Are you going to copy? So have you copied your chart of depreciation from ODE? You had to tell an answer. Now the 0DE is no more available in SAP S4 HANA, which is called as the German chart of depreciation. So we have taken the reference of 1710 depreciation area, chart of depreciation area, not the ODE. ODE is no more available in SAP S4 HANA. Very, very clever answer you have to give. So no more chart. So what I'll take the reference of 1710 and I'll copy to my chart of depreciation area. So the chart of depreciation area should be within any 4 characters, alpha numerical characters. So you can give anything. So I'll give as like this 5 COD example. So 5 is nothing but my company code related and COD is nothing but my chart of accounts. You can give any 4 alpha numerical character code where all these are getting copied from the 1710 to 5 COD. Any 4 alpha numerical character, you new chart of depreciation you're creating for your company code now from today onwards. Now, yes, now press enter. Okay, now press enter. Before this step, now I'm just canceling here because I want to check what are all the depreciation areas are available in the 1710. Just I'm canceling. I'll show once again. Okay, now very, very, very important. Just go back. See, in the 1710, I done only one simple thing. I just came to the same path. Here. I just, instead of selecting the first one, I selected the last one, which is the third one, because I want to see what are all the depreciation areas which are getting copied to my company code. I selected and choose, and I given the 1710. So these are the depreciation areas. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Eight depreciation areas are the total. 8 depreciation areas are there here. So these all 8 depreciation areas I want to copy to my chart of new chart of depreciation area. Now how to copy? This is what exactly I'm showing now. I'm selecting copy and 1710. And I'm creating a new chart of depreciation, which is going to be called as 5C over any 5 alphanumerical character code. Yes. And I'm pressing enter. Now I'm pressing enter to copy. Now all the depreciation areas are getting copied. Yes. Now there is the information. Okay. Now all the number ranges also. Yes. I'm pressing yes. Now you are going to be yes. Do you really want to transfer the number ranges? Yes. Number ranges related to the assets. Now I'm going to save it. See here, the information has been given to you now. The chart of depreciation 1710 copied to the 5 COD. Okay, any 4. Okay, now I'll go back. Just 1 second. Okay, I'll go back. Now I'll double click on copy reference chart of depreciation. Okay, 5 COD. Okay, now let me see whether these depreciation areas are copied or not. See, 5 COD. Now I copied all the depreciation areas. You can see here, all the depreciation areas have been copied here. Now you can see here. First thing, in this, very important. Very important now. Now I'll go back.
Can you verify number ranges whether they really transported or not?
Yeah,
Number ranges.
yeah, I'll check it. 1 second, because
Is it a best practice, Mahesh? Is it a best practice to transport number ranges?
Number ranges in the sense is nothing but actually here, if I go to the asset classes, here the number range intervals. So here, if I give my company code, if I give the company code, the system is very slow. Come on. See, these are the number ranges. 1, 2, 3, 4. See here, these are the number ranges. These are the asset class number ranges. I'm not talking about the number ranges about the document posting, sir. No, these are not the document number ranges. No, everybody will be in the assumption that whatever the documents you have posted in the 1710 company code, they are getting copied to the 5500. No, these are the asset class number ranges. While you are creating an asset master record, we need one number. For example, every GL account will have one number. If it is a salary account, means 10000 number range. Like this, for every asset there will be number. So that asset number will be copied from the asset class. So those number ranges have been copied, not the document number ranges.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, now I'll go back. Very important step here. I'll go back now. Very important now. Okay, the number of currencies assigned to a company code should be equal to your number of depreciation areas in the asset accounting. Very important. Everybody, you have to keep this point in your mind. Okay, now I'm coming back. Okay, so I'm coming back to the main important point. Okay, here. Now I'll go back. Let the screen like this. Okay, I'll go back to the next screen. How many currencies you have been assigned to your ledger? Very, very important. This is the concept now we need to understand now. Okay. Now, if I go to the ledger OL, I'll just select the first one. I'll select the first one. My ledger is at 0L. I'll go to the company code. Now, if I see here, how many currencies you have been assigned? Okay, there are two currencies are there. One is going to be called as a local currency. Second one is going to be called as a global currency. There are no additional currencies are there. There are no additional currencies are there. Now, how many depreciation areas you should require for the OL? I require two depreciation areas. Very, 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 very important. This point is very, very important. If I have another currency, if I have another one, then you need to have three depreciation areas for the OL. See how it is going to be defined. Now see back. The number of currencies should be equal to your number of depreciation areas. Very, very important, all of you. Now I'll come to the general valuation. Depreciation areas. Just I'll set up my chart of depreciation. 5500 for a meanwhile, because I need to show some examples. Now I just set it to 5500, not 5 COD, because 5 COD is the new chart of depreciation, because there are no, okay, we have not done any configuration. Just I'll take an example of 5500. So I'm defaulting with 5500. Depreciation areas, once again, SPRO, IMG, financial accounting, asset accounting, general valuation, depreciation areas, define depreciation areas now. Select the first one, define the depreciation areas, click on choose. Now see here. This is very, 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 very important for us to understand now. Now, first one, I'll come to the first one, that is the OL. That is the OL. Now, how many currencies are there? There are two currencies have been. One is the local currency, which is for the book depreciation area. Second one is local currency, the group currency, which is going to be called as for the group currency. Okay, now I'll take the OL. I just require only these two depreciation areas required. Okay, I don't want the remaining depreciation areas. So these depreciation areas I don't require. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't require. Why? Because the parallel currency, this is going to be the very, very important concept we need to understand. The number of currencies should be equal to your number of depreciation areas. I'll go to the principles now. Okay, now I'll go to the simplification list. My dear friend, before 3 years or 2.5 years, I'm also just like you, because it has made me a lot of confusion. But now, okay, after I get a complete understanding about the asset accounting, I am able to see. I am in a situation where I'm able to explain to many people. So don't get disappointed. Don't be upset that some points are not going to be understanding. But make sure that your answer, you're questioning me to repeat the same point once again, so that I can give the clarification on that. Because I am here to not, as a commercial, as I've been told you earlier also, I'm not a commercial person to take the money and complete the batch. I am here until you get the satisfied with the complete session. So don't hesitate to ask any kind of questions, because see, I'm going each and every point in a deeper way, so that my students should not be in a confusion stage once they're going to do any kind of practicals or whatever maybe. So please, okay, so you cannot get this kind of explanation anywhere. I'm challenging that. Even if you go for anywhere also, even if you study with SAP also, you can't get this kind of explanation. Yeah, here. Okay, now I'll just discussing with all these things. Yes. So if you go to the page number, If you go to the simplification list, if you go to the page number 177, 177, okay. Simplification in asset account, this is going to be called as the parallel valuation and the general entry. Parallel valuation. What do you mean by parallel valuation? Parallel valuation is nothing but where the number of the number of currencies or something like where the number the accounting principles are getting assigned to the ledgers. Okay, now you can see here in new asset accounting, you can map the parallel valuation with the ledger approach. Okay, parallel valuation, the accounting principles are getting assigned to a ledger or accounts approach in the mixture. Okay, now we can see one by point very clearly. Yeah, see here. I'll come from the starting. Yes. Yes, okay. You can record the leading valuation. Earlier in our SAP ECC, we don't have this concept called as transparent assignment of accounting principles to the depreciation areas. We don't have this kind of concept earlier. If you see here the depreciation areas, I'm just deleting all those things. Okay, I don't require. Now, if you see here, the book depreciation area, the first one I'm talking, the book depreciation area is going to be called as the main depreciation area for the valuation purpose earlier in our SAP ECC. And the remaining all the depreciation areas are only for the internal reporting purpose. Only the book depreciation area has been given the highest valuation. Okay, now in our SAP S4HANA, you can record the leading valuation of asset accounting in any depreciation area of new asset. It is no longer necessary to use the depreciation area 01 for this. Earlier, what we are going to be seeing here, the leading valuation of asset accounting means earlier for the external reporting purpose, we supposed to use only the 01 and all the remaining depreciation areas are only for the internal reporting purpose. Why? Because all the remaining depreciation areas are dependent on the book depreciation. Now, in SAP S4HANA, this dependency concept has been completely removed now from today onwards. Every depreciation area is having the equal responsibility, equal powers. Every depreciation area. So, if you take a book depreciation, it is having its own power of depreciation. If you take the 31, it is having its own power. Now, all the depreciation areas are independent in nature. Earlier, only one book depreciation area we are using, 01. Earlier, only the 01 we are using for the leading valuation for the external reporting purpose. Now, in SAP S4HANA, because of having this transparent assignment of accounting principles, this is what exactly the logic. Every depreciation area, if we go for every 01, 31, 32, 33, every depreciation area, if we go and see, there will be one accounting principle is getting assigned here. These accounting principles, accounting will derive the ledger groups. Why? Because in the earlier stage, I showed that every ledger group should be assigned to one accounting principle. So once you are given this accounting principle, see, for example, I'm removing this accounting principle now. See here. The original, it looked like this. Okay, like this. Yeah, now I'm removing the accounting principle. Now see here. Now, I have totally 4 depreciation areas now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why I have taken only 4? Why you deleted everything, Mr. Rahul? Why? I'll explain the concept now. I'll go back. First, I'll go to the ledger. For the OL, how many principles? Okay, for the OL, how many currencies have been assigned? One is going to be called as 10, another one is going to be called as 30. So only 2 currencies have been assigned. So I required only 2 accounting principles. Only 2, I required only 2 depreciation areas. Now, what is the accounting principle you are assigned? LG. LG is the accounting principle. So I'll copy this LG. I'll go back. Very, very important. See the concept here now. Very, 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 very important. Okay. Now, this is for the OL. First one, book depreciation and the local gap in group currency. Book depreciation, I will use the 10. Book depreciation, I will use the 10. 10 is the book depreciation for the group depreciation, because 30 is the group currency. So 30 is the currency I will use for the group. So 2 depreciation areas are created. I just maintained. One is the 1, another one is the 30. So what is the accounting principle? LG. Because LG. The number of currencies should be equal to your number of depreciation area. Just keep it as a blank. Just keep it in your mind. Everybody, don't forget. Don't forget till you get retired from the SAP. Don't forget it. So LG. LG, and here also I'm taking the LG because I need two depreciation areas. Why? Because I have two currencies. One is the 10, another one is the 30. Okay, very good. This is completed. Now, what is the next ledger you assign to the fifth? There are only two ledgers have been assigned to this particular company code. What is another ledger you assign to the company code? Okay, have you assigned this 12? Let me check. No, 12 is not been assigned. Let me go back and I'll show once again. My God. 12. See here. 5500 is there. This is the 12. This is the 12. 5500 is there. No, 5500 is not there. So 12 is not assigned to the company code 5500. Okay. Next, I'll select N1. What? Okay, just randomly. Okay. Just go and check whether the company code has been assigned with the 5500. Yes, 5500 is there. Okay. N1 is there. Okay. So I need. Okay. So N1 is there. So how many currencies you have been assigned to the N1 to the company code? Only two currencies, 10 and 30. So these two depreciation areas I will use for the N1. These two depreciation areas I will use for the N1. So N1, what is the accounting principle you are assigned? Okay, US GAAP. Okay, right, US GAAP. So I'll select. Where is the US GAAP here? See, automatically N1 has come. See here, automatically N1 has come. Why? Because the company code. Oh my God. Oh no. N1. If I press enter, see here, automatically the target ledger groups are getting derived from this accounting principle. Why? Because for each and every ledger you have assigned the accounting principle. So once you are given this ledger, automatically this accounting principle is getting derived. You can see here, automatical account. So totally 4 is enough. Yes, 4 is enough. Why you're so confident that 4 are going to be enough? Why? Because for my company code, there are only two ledgers have been assigned. One is the N1, another one is the OL. One is the N1, another one is the OL, and each and every ledger have only two currencies. Totally 4 depreciation areas are going to be required. One is the main depreciation area, another one is going to be the group depreciation area. This is for the LG. Second one is for the main depreciation area, that is for the N1, and another one is the group depreciation area. Now, I done some postings yesterday to the same thing. Now, if I go back, this is the 5500. Yesterday, I've done the posting to the same thing. Now, if I go to the asset accounting, if I click on this asset accounting, now you can see here. If I click on this, okay, accounts payable currency, see here. One is the local GAAP, another one is the US GAAP. One is the local GAAP, another one is the US GAAP. How these two are going to be appearing? Because of the assignment of local GAAP and the US GAAP over here. Very, 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 very important. So in these two, if you see very carefully, only these two depreciation areas, one is the 01, another one is the 30, because these are the two leading valuation depreciation area. One depreciation area 01 is mainly useful for the local GAAP reporting. Another one, IFRS local currency, this depreciation area is mainly for the US GAAP reporting. So these two I have been made it as a post in the real time. So that what happens, I can see these accounting entries. Now I can see these two accounting entries here. Okay, if I switch on to the other one, so this is N1. So these have been posted in the real time. You can see here, N1 has been posted to the US GAAP and OL is getting posted to the other GAAP. So all the leading valuation depreciation areas are getting posted. This is what exactly we call it as a transparent assignment of transparent, where we can see here. For which accounting principle, which depreciation area has been assigned. There is a transparent assignment of accounting principle to the depreciation area. So this point is very, very important here. So if I go here, there is a transparent assignment of depreciation areas to the accounting principle. Very, 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 very important. So why you created 4 depreciation areas? Because for the leading depreciation area 01, 0L, I have 2 currencies. For the N1, I had 2 currencies, totally 4 depreciation years. 0L is for the local GAAP and N1 is for the IFRS, or maybe it is for the US GAAP. Okay, so 2 accounting principles have been assigned. So totally I required 4 depreciation areas. So in that 4, 01, in that 4, one depreciation area should be made it as a real-time posting. Okay, one depreciation area should be posted as a real time. Okay, so I made the 01 and 31 IFRS. I made because of this making of this setting a post in the real time. Because of this setting, I'm able to see these documents after the posting in my SAP S/4HANA. If there is no real-time posting, if I'm not assigned the real-time posting here, if I'm not selected the post in the real time for any one of the depreciation area, for example, I not selected the post in the real time for this particular depreciation area. So I can't see this accounting entry is getting triggered over here. I can't see the N1 is getting posted here. Very, 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 very important. So this is the main configuration behind this posting of this accounting principle. So transparent assignment of accounting principles to the ledger. So this is what exactly the transparent assignment. So each and every ledger. So I required only 4. Now you're able to see the 4 depreciation areas because 2 currencies for the OL and 2 currencies for the N1. So totally 4. Clear, all of you?
Mahesh, for consolidated balance sheet, how is the posting happens?
What's that?
For consolidated balance sheet, group balance sheet.
Because I'm maintaining the group currency, no sir. Here I already, because already I have the 30 is nothing but your group currency. So for each and every depreciation wise, okay, so the 30 is one group currency for the local GAAP and 30 is the group currency for the IFRS. Already I maintained the depreciation area here. Already I maintain here. No need to maintain the separate consolidation, sir, because 30 itself is a group currency for you.
Yeah, this is for the GL currency. In parallel accounting, we have this group currency.
Correct.
So when it comes to depreciation area configuration, you put that one. So we don't need to have any separate.
No further required consultation. This is what exactly the simplification which has been done in SAP S/4HANA.
Okay.
Okay. So tomorrow we'll see the remaining configuration about the parallel processing about that. Okay. Thank you very much, all of you.
One more question. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what happens normally we do if we are migration of the chart of depreciation. So at that time, what will happen?
See what
this
happened
is a
here.
New configuration, right?
Yes, exactly. This is the new configuration where this configuration has to be done before you go for the migration. So here.
Yep.
So here, after the system has been converted to the SAP S/4HANA, after the system has been converted to SAP S/4HANA, before you go for the migration, before you go for the data migration, there are some steps which are related to the asset accounting. You need to complete this preparation and the migration of the customizing to the asset accounting. So these steps you have to get migrated to the classic asset accounting, new asset accounting, and adjustments in the new asset accounting. In the adjustments of the new asset accounting, you are going to do the adjustments of all those things, sir. So this step is required before you go for the data migration.
But I thought we have to implement asset accounting before we even do a conversion.
That is the activating of new asset accounting is important, not the classic asset accounting. I told that you had to work with the new asset accounting. Not classic asset accounting will not support this parallel valuation because the parallel valuation has been activated from the ECC 6.5 from the EHP 5 package. So new asset accounting is a mandatory.
Yeah, before we convert to S/4HANA, we need to run a sub-project side.
Exactly. 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 Because if you are working in classic asset accounting, make sure that you have enhanced your package from EHP1 or EHP2 to EHP7 or EHP8 latest enhancement package, so that your new asset accounting is getting activated. After your new asset accounting is activated, so make sure that all the reconciliation issues have been resolved. Then after that you have to do this configure. Then after that you have to do this conversion.
And after conversion, we do all this configuration again.
Yes, sir. Why not? Why? Because if I not done this configuration, how this my balance? How this? What are the depreciation areas you are required? This has to be done now, sir. This has to be done.
Yeah, I thought when we activate the new asset accounting before conversion, at that point we do all this configuration.
No. Because this configuration has been implemented from SAP S for not an SEC.
Okay. All right.
Thank you very much, all of you. Have a great
Now
day.
tomorrow we don't have class, right?
If you want, I'll keep a class if required.
But you mentioned tomorrow, so it's not tomorrow, right? It's Monday.
Okay, tomorrow means it is the next class. But if you want tomorrow, if you guys are really interested in taking tomorrow, I am available for that.
No, thank you.
Okay.